Thank you for listening to Two Talking Arseholes. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and may deal with adult topics and adult themes.
Brownstown, we're with you when you fight. Brownstown, bark with the dogs tonight. Brownstown, Cleveland is right behind you.
Hello! It is the 29th day of August-shire, which obviously everybody knows is 2 days before my birthday. Welcome to Talking to Our Souls with me, Steve. At the end of the day, you're another day older. Hen. And it's him.
The gas is bloody expensive. Turn the fucking heating off! It's the thing.
See, I think Av gets annoyed when I swear, but he did say, "Cut the fucking heating off."
It deserved a bit of swearing in what the news read. I think so.
Oh Jesus, I know. But right, I'm still just going to pick you up on it. It's not even. It's still summer. It's still summer. It's going to get colder and colder. I mean, the nights are drawing in. I hate it, but like. It's gonna. Oh, I want to bring everyone good news. Do you know what I mean? I think we should try and be happy and upbeat from now on in, even though things are going to be like just crushing people. But I'd like us to be upbeat if we can. Cut your fucking gas off.
I think I'm gonna have to stop burning shit in the garden in the winter just to get some heating in it.
That's it. Bring it inside.
Maybe not bring it inside because of issues with it. Yeah, so.
Are you? Hey, that's a good. This is a fun topic. Are we allowed? Are you still allowed to burn shit outside? Like, how big's your garden? Because you did some videos for the hen nights in your back garden, and I don't feel that it was huge, but I thought it was all right. But that could have just been a corner of your garden.
It was corner of the garden that. It's a decent. It's not massive, but you know, you could play
big enough to have a fire.
A good game of, and you could have a good game of.
I want you to say badminton.
Yeah, badminton. That's it. Yeah.
If you said football, I'd be thinking that's a bit show offy.
Badminton easily, no problem, with a net and everything. But it's not massive.
Oh, does the net play badminton? The only time I got him to laugh was when I said that C word the other week, and now he won't laugh at any of my jokes. But yeah. No, so are we allowed to burn stuff in your garden? Don't your neighbours ring up and complain?
After 7, I used to have a neighbour a few doors down, an elderly lady, and she used to complain, even when it wasn't us burning stuff. it's the Indians. They're always bloody burning stuff. Get a call from the council. I ain't burning shit.
So do they ring you up? Or do they knock on your door? Or do they send you a letter 3 years after the event?
They knocked on the door a couple of times. One time I had builders in, they were burning stuff. So that wasn't us. And then someone further down was burning, and they came again. I was like, it's not mess.
See, I remember once we had the wife, we had the decorators in, and she was miserable all week. So, thing is, right, if you're burning stuff and they're ringing the council up because you're burning stuff, then if you put it out with a hose pipe, they'll tell you off for that as well.
Oh, this was a few years ago before before there's any talk of a hose pipe ban.
That's it. Wow. That's weird as well, because like when we had the decorators in, there was a hose pipe ban in the house and all. 2 for 2. Do you have a nice holiday, Av?
Yeah.
You've missed me, haven't you?
First time I've turned off for a bit actually. But you recommended
the Minnock
places. The Minnock, yeah. The midget theatre, and everyone was quite tall, Steve. So I don't know why they call it the. You said it was the midget theatre.
I've got a picture of Av at the Minnock Theatre, and he looks like this. You're looking good there. You're looking good on holiday, Mr. Av Singh.
I know. It was a nice beach there as well, Steve. So, spent a few
Oh,
hours
no,
at
I
the
didn't
beach
know
as
that.
well.
So you could, because does it overlook the beach?
Yeah, overlooks
Because you
the
can see
beach.
it looks the sea, but is there a beach
Yeah.
like then
There's
behind
a
the?
beach on the left-hand side, but it's a bit. You wouldn't want to go down the path they've got. It's very steep, a bit dangerous.
Ah,
So I had to come back down. I'll tell you something about. You have to be careful with the routes you go, because some routes there's not enough room for 2 cars. When I looked on the website for them, they were advising not to go a particular route that SatNav tells you. So I drove an extra 10, 15 minutes round to get there.
all helps with the petrol.
The amount of fuel I spent driving around.
Hey.
But I saw the theatre, and I went to the Lizard Peninsula.
The Lizard Peninsula.
Yeah.
I'd say I recommended that as well. To be fair, I haven't been to either of those places, but I do know that they're down at Land's End, at John O'Groats, at Cornwall.
I didn't get a chance to go to the Lad's End.
You look like you've got a tan as well.
I got sunburnt, Steve.
Good.
I'm Indian, and I got sunburnt. I got disowned. I got disowned by the Indians.
By the clan.
Yeah. You got
And when I say
sunburnt?
clan,
You got no bloody shame? Are you English? But it's not the first time it's happened to me, but you know, it is like you do tell like relatives like they do like you got sunburnt compared to some Indians. I'm a lighter tone, I would say. Still not. I wouldn't say I'm white, but I'm like, but I feel like tan.
you wouldn't say you're Michael Jackson white. You're more.
No.
You're more
When
Rishi
you talk
Sunak.
when you talk about being whiter than white, those two. Michael Jackson was white. The way he spoke and the way he looked, except when he sang. Rishi Sunak looks like a twat and behaves like a twat as well. So
Do you know, I'm not a big fan of just dissing people, and it's because he's got the money that he looks like a twat, I think, isn't it? Because he's always wearing posh clothes and stuff. But he's meant to be in charge of... Well, he was meant to be in charge of people's money until we had the great god of up the road, Zahawi, from Stratford-upon-the-Avon, who's now in charge of our finances.
what is it with having ethnic minorities deal with finances, eh? You got these two in, you know.
When Labour win, they have the Scottishman in as well. They have a reputation.
What?
What, the Scots for being pissheads. No, there was that. Is it a trope? Do you call it a trope now? That Scots people were tight. A stereotype, I think.
Yeah. So, but the stereotype of them being tight with money and drunk.
Yeah, and we all the Scotsmen I know, Scots people, excuse me, they're pissheads, so it don't matter.
Well, I was going to say
And they will buy you around, so that's all right.
Indians have got a bit of the same reputation. So,
Is that Indians or just people living in this country these days? That's the only thing we can do.
what?
Not
Be
spend
racist.
money and not scare. Yeah, well, that's the third thing as well. I forgot about the extra special. We
don't
have
forget
racism.
I'll tell you that. There's quite a few Asian people voted for Brexit. So what does that say about
Yeah.
Asians? We make the best racists.
I think Indians make the best racist would be a nice title for a show, but we'd have to give it some content.
Who's the best racists? Caucasians or Asians?
Yeah, I honestly though, I think history would point out that the Caucasians are probably better, but in years to come, but then just because Asians are in a conservative government run by who's in charge? Who's in charge? Who is in charge? He went on 2 holidays, and then to make history make him look good, he went to Ukraine on their Independence Day to make it look that he was like helping the good fight. There's millions of people now in poverty and are worried where the next penny is coming from, and he went to Ukraine to make himself look better.
I know it's good to say we've helped Ukraine, right? But I guarantee you that let Boris stay there a couple of months, right? And they'll soon want to get rid of him as well. Guarantee you.
That is very true. It's very true. I feel we're losing you a bit there, Av. We heard you, but your lip syncing. We should do a lip sync battle. Your lip syncing went a bit weird, but I don't know if that's your signal or mine. But you did go fuzzy wuzzy. Can I say that?
Yeah. Shall I try and just put it on data?
When Av does that with his data, he freezes. He's probably going to pop off and then pop back in again. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear was Fuzzy Wuzzy. When Fuzzy Wuzzy lost his hair, he wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy. Which I still feel is racist, but I'm not sure why. So, were we talking about racism, or had we stopped?
Yeah, we were talking about Rishi Sunak.
Who's the
Zahawi?
Zahawi? Is he back now? He keeps going flickety flick, flickety flick, flick. So, Zahawi, good with money. And Brown. Rishi Sunak, good with money, and Brown. Piti Patel, racist.
Brown Chancellor. So
oh,
I'm going to be
excellent.
Sad to see it go, 'cause
You've got yards of material. No, but the Brown Chancellor was your wrestler's name. But we're now going to put a new part of the show, which is called What Gladiator Are You? Because they're bringing Gladiator back to the BBC in September, filming in Sheffield. So who would you be if you were a gladiator, Av?
Oh, probably the grizzly bear.
We were going to talk about, because it's come to the end of the Fringe. Can I say that? We did mention the Fringe the other week, but it's coming to the end now, and I don't think we actually talked about a very, very... I want to go and see him, actually. I'm going to go and see him with my son in Oxford, I feel, on the 2nd of November. Jerry Sadowitz, magician and, I'm going to say comedian, but I like his magic, was banned from the Fringe. And a lot of people were getting very, 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 very on their high horses. But I do believe, if you know who Jerry Sadowitz is, I don't, because I can't say his name, Jerry Sadowitz is, then you know what you're going to see. It's like if you went to see the Chippendales in their heyday and you were offended that men were on stage taking their clothes off, then that was your fault.
But the first time I saw him, he actually had a show on Channel 5.
Yes, I thought it was 4. I thought it was, but then it could have been 5. I
Like,
don't know. In my head, it's 4 because it seems such a long time ago.
I thought it's 5. I thought it's Channel 5, and I used to love it, his show, because
Wow.
it was even outrageous for TV. Then I think he must
Definitely.
have held back. He must have held back on TV. Cause
Yeah, well, you
what
have
hear
to
about
as well.
now-
There's certain things
yeah.
you can't say. Uh-huh.
But there was like I said, he had a 2-day show, and after the first show, the theatre cancelled the second show because it's hard to work out who complained. They reckon it was people actually working there and not necessarily.
Yeah. Because people were saying there were walkouts, and then I've heard people who were actually at the show and said they were actually going to the toilet.
I heard something that it was staff complained. I don't know how true this is. They're saying a lot of the staff are students and talk of this to a show, and they're saying they reckon, well, the students these days are too soft.
I don't think they're too soft. I think maybe overzealous.
Jerry Sadowitz, 2 comments. Well, I'll tell you, 1 comment and 1 action. Yeah.
That's me getting my penis out.
Yeah. So
I'm not actually getting my penis out. Apparently he got his penis out.
Yeah, got his penis out, but I don't know in what context. Like, what was the joke? What was the setup for that to happen?
He always takes his penis out, apparently.
Oh, really? Okay.
In the morning.
Yeah, and the other thing was he referred to, allegedly, I should say, he referred to Rishi Sunak as the P word. The 2 things that people were not happy about were him getting his cock out and him referring to Rishi Sunak as the P word, right? And I tell you, right, when I heard that, I felt very offended that he got his cock out.
But no, you're right.
He called Rishi Sunak a P word. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest. Right?
Can you say it? You don't want to say. You don't like saying it, do you?
I don't like saying it.
Do you want me to say it?
No, don't you say it.
I'm going to say it. Privileged. Rishi Sunak was privileged at school. Privileged. Didn't you say once that he actually said it in Parliament? He said, when I was younger, I was called a P word.
And I didn't know he went to school with Jerry Sadowitz.
But yeah. But no, if Rishi Sunak... See, this is where I don't know where... Let's say, right... why I'm asking you. Jerry Sadowitz said the P word because Rishi Sunak stood up in Parliament and used it. And you were quite upset the way he used it, were you?
There's two reasons why I wasn't happy about it. One of the reasons was it felt like he was trying to get, not necessarily sympathy, but I look at me, I'm just an Indian guy who got abused. I'm thinking, well, I guarantee you, Steve, he's been called a P word by other Conservatives, but you won't mention that, right? I guarantee you.
And probably they haven't said it in a sort of hurtful way, although it would hurt people. They've just said it because they're allowed to say it and get away with it.
This is racial abuse, but there's some racial probably behaviour towards him. Like this whole thing about women in the Conservative Party who were getting harassed, right? That gets swept under the carpet till someone speaks out. Like, I'm sure there's Asian and black MPs in the Conservative Party who have felt at some point that they've been treated unfairly or spoken to because of the colour of their skin.
Yeah.
And that's why they try even harder to speak. I speak just like you. Don't racially abuse me. Rishi Sunak probably Preeti Patel calling him that. We talked about this ages ago, that if he tries to become MP and he's up against someone who...
Jerry Sadowitz?
Yeah, Jerry Sadowitz. He'd be a great MP, wouldn't he?
I'd vote him. It'd be good in Cockermouth. Did you try not to laugh there?
Trying not to make eye contact with you. We talked about that. He was up against Liz Truss, right? And how many people in the Conservative who are members would have an unconscious bias, and how many would have a conscious bias towards her? I
think the reason why Liz Truss is going to win is because she's pretty.
That is a disgrace.
I've just been a dick.
There's only one pretty Patel.
Hey, there's only one pretty woman. One pretty woman. I do still love her. I saw a picture of her the other day and I went, oh, I'm going to miss you. I've got
a cracking joke
You're
about
going to be
her.
upset about her as well. Yeah.
I've got a cracking joke about her. And I'm just hoping she's on the front bench in some sort of role because I might be able to still use that joke.
Do you know what though? It's because we assume that Liz Truss will win, and I can't see her giving Rishi a job. Preeti Patel, I reckon she could still be Home Secretary though. Women would be important. I think she'll have more. I don't know, what is it? Cojones. if she had more women in her cabinet, she'd look better in the general Daily Mail scope of the world.
You wouldn't want a woman as the Secretary for Transport, would you?
I think that's a perfect joke, but I still think WOK won't like it. When I say WOK, no, it's a perfect joke. I'm happy with it, Av. I love it. You say it in the right way. You're not saying it really. Students that work at Jerry Sadowitz's show would have said.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention this whole. I've seen a few debates about this Jerry Sadowitz. You forget it as well, Steve. He's a character. Because whenever you see Jerry Sadowitz, it's always him as Jerry Sadowitz. You have not seen the person who plays Jerry Sadowitz.
No.
So you always think Jerry Sadowitz is the person, but he's not.
There was a debate on the radio, and somebody rang in who actually went to see the show in Edinburgh, and he said, "I've seen him loads of times," and he was Scottish. He says, "I love it. My wife's never gone," she said, because she never thought it'd be her cup of tea. But I dragged her along to this show, and it was James O'Brien. James O'Brien said, "Would your wife go and see him again?" She said, "Oh yeah, she loved it. She had a really good evening." He said, "Was he that bad?" He said, "To be honest," he said, "I've seen him so many times. If anything, he was less offensive in Edinburgh than he has been previously."
He toned it down.
He toned it down for Edinburgh, but it still wasn't WOK.
The thing is, I've not seen him live, and the only other Scottish comedian who's got a reputation for...
Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie Boyle. A friend of mine who said they went to see them, and people were walking out of his show because some of the stuff, it was very dark. It was very, very dark. So
Yeah, I saw Frankie Boyle ages ago at the Birmingham Symphony Hall, and I felt that his jokes were very similar. It was like the same sort of shock. So there was not a let up, and I was at the top at the side, so there's not people in front or behind me. There was just a couple of people to the side of me, so you don't get the laughter bubble. Can I call it that? Where you feel safe laughing because everybody else is laughing around you. But I rate Frankie Boyle now so much. Are you trying to kill a fly? Or a moth? That looks like a moth. Fuck's sake, we could see that. Now, if you're listening to this on your headphones, obviously, you may have heard the moth flutter by. You need to see this, so you need to check the podcast out on video, which is Talking to Our Souls at YouTube. And on Spotify, you can watch us as well as listen to us. Did you kill it?
No, just get it away from me.
A moth flew into the doctor and said, Doctor, I've got a terrible sore throat. The doctor said, I'm sorry to hear that, but you really need to see a vet. And the moth said, I know, but your light was on. Did we finish off Sadowitz?
I think so, Jerry.
What was the last thing you said about him? That he was a character?
Frankie Boyle.
Oh, yeah, Frankie Boyle. Oh, yeah, did you want to talk about Frankie Boyle?
No, I was saying that there two similar comics, but one doesn't get his cock out.
Did you see what Frankie Boyle said about our two candidates for the next Prime Minister?
No, I haven't seen that.
All right, Frankie, I'm going to start with you. What do you make of the Tory leadership campaign?
I just think we're the first society in history to be ruled by incompetent fascists. Fascists are... They're normally organised. We're going to be going to the death camps in a replacement bus service.
Yes.
We're going to have the next Prime Minister chosen by a very small group of elderly people during a heat wave. And it's got to be either Rishi Sunak, a guy whose greatest desire in life is to be pegged by Thatcher's ghost, or Liz Truss, who would be the first Prime Minister to forget to breathe and just die.
I think he was a bit easy on Liz Truss there. I think Sunak got the harsh end of that, didn't he?
But he sums it up quite nicely, though, really. He's very good at finding... He called Boris Johnson once like a blancmange in a suit. And it's like... It sort of hits the nail quite nicely. But he didn't get his penis out.
Cleveland is right behind you.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and share this because it will help us. And don't forget to tune in next week, 8 p.m. Mondays. Ta-ra!